Hello and welcome to Shelley's Sacred Space and our Tarot Tidbits. Today we are talking the Queen and King of Wands. Just to recap, we are comparing 4 different decks to see the similarities and the difference to get a better understanding of our cards. We are using the classic Coleman Smith Rider-Waite Radiant version, the Fifth Spirit Tarot, the Somnia Tarot, and the Greenwich Tarot. Let's start with the Queen. Now, quick reminder, the court cards, Page, Knight, Queen, King, can represent a person you know, an aspect of yourself, or an energy that you need to encounter or have or tap into or avoid, depending on the cards and how they're laid out. So for the Queen, we're looking at somebody, if you're looking at a person who is older, they're not young, they're not, starting out in the world, they're established. They're a visionary. They're somebody who likely looks outside of the box. That being said, sometimes you can get stuck looking outside of the box and not understand traditions and the way things sometimes are. So you can be stubborn, surprise there, be impulsive. So this might be an aspect of impulsivity or self-centeredness. What is known here is the Queen energy is about the receptive energy of action. So it's the what happens to you, almost not internally, but it's the effect that action has on you as opposed to on others. Okay. Now I'm going to point out in our Rider-Waite, we have the cat. The cat is an is a representation of the spirit world, connecting with nature. It's the domesticated-ish wild animal. What's interesting that I actually hadn't really paid attention to before is we have mountains here, but not here. And she is looking towards the clear area. Now, in the card, she's looking towards the future. So the future is looking smooth. She has her connection and is grounded in her spirit. She is constantly in action and abundant in her action because of the sunflower. She is strong-willed. She has lions up here, and she has overcome those mountains. So this is why she's not that new energy. She's that energy that has gone through a lot to get where she is or he. And in this receptive state, she's confident, she's connected, she's stable, she's sure, she's self-aware. Okay, when we look at this card, Diva, like that's what I see. That's what comes to mind, and that is the Queen. She does not make apologies for who she is. She does not hide her light. And again, the she is in representation of the feminine energy, not a female person. Now, it can represent a female person, but it's more the receptive energy. So it can also represent a male person in your life who's very connected to themselves, unapologetic for who they are, giving and receiving and just nurturing. And that could be a male like a male person in your life with these attributes. Okay. Now for this one, she's looking, or he, straight at us, surrounded by all the actions that have been taken. What's interesting in this one is the knees. They're not like this queen's knees, and they're not like this queen's knees. They're a little bit off-centered, which almost gives the feeling of about to get up and go. Like we're here, we're good, we're on a solid foundation, we're surrounded by the actions that we took, we're good where we are, but that doesn't mean we don't have the next thing that we want to do. So this card really gives that feeling of still needing to move forward. We're not done with everything. So it's not, I'm retired and I've done everything that I needed to and I'm good. This queen is an entrepreneur, always on to the next thing. All right. And then this one, she's holding her wand straight up. Now, if you notice, here and here, we have a slight angle. Here we do not. And in this one, it's also straight up, but the wind is blowing the wick a little. Straight up. She is no one to mess with when it comes to the actions to take. There are flowers. There is a bird in the tree. The flowers are lilacs. To me, and again, these cards also have personal meanings. I have a history with lilacs. I have memories of lilacs. So now this card represents those memories. This is where the cards present something more to each of us individually. That's why my interpretation is not the only interpretation. Your interpretation is not the only interpretation. And when you lead through spirit, you might catch a symbol that you haven't seen before that's actually a representation for the person that you're reading for. Okay, so anyways, I digress again. She looks very gentle. She's relaxed, but yet not, because her wand is straight up and she's holding it straight up. Her back is straight. She's not slumping. She's not leaning back. She's not in a rocking chair. She's on a bench in front of her home where she has acquired all of that. That is hers, and nobody's going to touch it. And that's the feeling I get in that card. So you can see the queen is someone who, the Queen of Wands, is someone who's very active, won't hide her light, is willing to still shine bright, and is not done with life yet. Let's look at the king. So the king is someone who is brave and courageous. They take action. They don't hide away. They don't fear taking action. They're ready to go any day, anytime, in any way. They can be jealous. They may not want somebody taking the spotlight. They can be combative. They're definitely focused just because they're older. So this energy is definitely someone who's established. Just because they're established, it doesn't mean that they don't still have bright ideas and they don't still want to explore those. It does mean that they could be a little bit more protective of the things that they have accomplished. They also are really good at being a motivator. to help other people find their ways. Again, with confidence, you also can acquire egotistic tendencies. They can be cruel, especially if you're not sure what to do and how to do it and you hem and haw a little bit. They might be a little short and be like, just do it already, without that idea of compassion. Now, they are an outgoing energy, so they're all about the do it as opposed to the reflect on it. Okay. And if you notice, our king, who has the lion on the throne, the salamander down by the base, is holding the wand, but the wand is not equal to where he is. So his actions got him to where he is. But he's looking to the past. He's looking at everything that he has accomplished and is quite pleased about that. He's not an energy of, oh, I should reflect on and see how I feel about that. Not at all. He's like, that's the actions I took. I am here. This is where I want it to be. I'm good. In this one, we've got the person ready to go. We're still going. We haven't stopped. Just because we're the king doesn't mean we don't still have a passion within us. And we've accomplished everything that we want to, but we can still do more. This card does not show anyone settling down and being content where they are, which is kind of opposite this card. Now here, again, we have the king. Now he has, or she has, a book in their hand, which this is the only card that has, in the kings, that has a book. Now the candles, the actions, the fire, the passions surround the king, but the book is all about the lessons learned through that. And so now it's indicating someone who's very wise and well versed in many aspects of life. And then this one has a gentleman who, again, holding the wand straight up, who's sitting in a chair, kind of slouched, with a playful animal at his feet. There's a plant behind that's growing and flourishing. So there's abundance and there's growth and there's continuation. And the fire is still lit in the home. So there's still passion there. But he doesn't seem like he's in as much motion as this card. So it's interesting where you get those different aspects. So if I was doing a reading and I got the Fifth Spirit Tarot, my King of Wands is going to be about not giving up and continuing to have that passion for life. But if I get this one, I'm going to be looking at the Green Witch going, so this is where you need to enjoy the benefits of the life that you created. Interesting. Love this. Thank you so much for joining me for the Queen and the King of Wands. That finishes off our suit of wands. We will do a recap in the next video just to see the progression of how it works. Remember, the court cards are all about personality aspects as opposed to the story of the wands, which is from Ace to 10. Until next time, bye for now.